The fantasy news must flow. Welcome everybody to another episode of Fantasy News. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Greene, and today we have a fantastic aroma of fantasy news to sniff through today. Starting with, I just want to say today officially, my novella, Reach of Peace, is out. So if you'd like to check it out on ebook, paperback, what have you, it's available in the links down below. I was going to do a special announcement video, but I know a lot of you are not here for my novella, you're here for the fantasy news, and this is Fantasy News Day, damn it. Let's go ahead and get into the news. As you maybe possibly buy my novella, that'd be awesome. I love you. Thank you so much. Let's get into the first news. And the first bit of news we're covering here today is extremely exciting for Lord of the Rings fans like myself. We are getting hardcover illustrated editions of Lord of the Rings dropped October 19th this year. And specifically, these editions will be containing illustrations from Tolkien himself, not seen in any edition since 1954. Now note, these illustrated editions will not only contain the illustrations seen in the original 1954 publication, but they will have 30 additional illustrations, drawings, paintings from the author himself. These have been seen before in other Lord of the Rings pieces of media, but having a Lord of the Rings book with all of this in it at once just seems like it would make for an amazing reading experience, and I'm definitely going to be getting them and reviewing them here on the channel. Do I already have 6-7 editions of Lord of the Rings? Yes. And am I gonna buy more than one of these? Yeah, I'm gonna buy multiple copies. Why? What if one of them spontaneously combusts? I have to have a backup, obviously. Okay, I'm actually genuinely gonna get these and multiple copies of them. Shut up, don't judge me. But in other books that people are excited for news, we had Critical Role announcing their release date for their upcoming novel, Critical Role, Vox Machina, published through Penguin Random House. It's funny, I've been like a casual fan of Critical Role for a while, just occasionally watching some of their stuff. But as someone who has seen their rise just continue to grow, it gives me I feel very like warm and fuzzy toward them. It's just like, yeah, good on you guys, keep succeeding. Neat. But speaking of books, let's go ahead and get into the cover news for today, starting with Stephen Baxter's Galaxias, which features what looks like the sun going out. Why do I say that? Well, because there's a tweet that specifically says, "What would happen to the world if the sun went out? The end is nigh. Someone has sent us a sign." You gonna put the sun out? That's a way to perk my interest. It's been done before, but it's interesting. Why do I sound like I came from Louisiana all of a sudden? And from there we have my favorite cover of the day, which is going to be Swashbucklers from Dan Hanks. I don't really know anything about the inside of this book aside from the synopsis posted, but I love the style of this cover. It looks so freaking cool. What we have seems to be like this retro cartoon cyberpunk-ish, I don't know, I just dig it. That's a vibe I like. The synopsis reads, when Cassio Collins returns to his hometown 30 years after saving it from being swallowed by a hellmouth opened by an ancient pirate ghost, he realizes that being a childhood hero isn't like it was in the movies, especially when nobody remembers the heroic bits, even the friends who once fought alongside him. I'm not gonna read the full synopsis, but that's what we get at the beginning. I don't know about the contents of the book, because obviously I haven't read it, but if this cover was on a poster, I would buy it. And then finally we had Aurora's End, coming to us from Ami Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. It looks pretty good. I'm not actually familiar with this series, it's the third book, but I will say I always encourage author collaborations. I want them to happen more often. They're just fun and cool. Every fantasy fan likes author collabs. They're genuinely so much fun and great. Just do it for us, do it for the fans. And to like the one guy who's about to leave a comment like, actually, I don't like it. Just but quickly before we get into the rest of the news, a word from today's sponsor. So I'm in frame? Are you sure? Are you sure I'm in frame? I don't feel like I'm in frame.
Hello, Campfire. This is your destruction. We are those who you have wronged. Some may say you've done good, providing creatives with an incredible, affordable choose-your-own-price tool to help you write the stories you want. But we know the true dark side of Campfire. Campfire Blaze! Bringing all new features you can pay for individually or through a subscription or a one-time payment to the people. But is it too good? No one has had the bravery to ask, and we are simplifying the storytelling process too much. It's too accessible. Too many dreams can be achieved. Those from your past are organizing. Prepare for retribution and your eventual downfall. For we are the hand of the goblin, and that hand will soon rest on your you didn't send out the last tapes, right? Because the last tapes had my face in it, and I just feel like it'd be really obvious who I am. You didn't. Are you sure? We're already sending our minions into your ranks, infiltrating your customer base. Now all a goblin must do is go to the link in the description and sign up for Campfire today to be a part of the revolution. John, are you using it right? Are you using Campfire right now?
Yeah, it's helped me write my story.
It doesn't, you can't actually. So what will it be, Campfire? Continue to offer extreme value for a great tool? Or I don't know what's the other option again?
All right, you've probably seen the headlines buzzing around. George R.R. Martin signs massive 5-year overall deal with HBO for 8 figures. And then you inevitably get the comments that are like, oh, I guess we're never getting Winds of Winter now. Okay, how could he do this? Game of Thrones season 8. Just the comment sections are doing exactly what you think they're gonna do. What this actually entails though is HBO is going to have George R. R. Martin involved with many series and adapt several projects from him, including other A Song of Ice and Fire related works and ones that are not A Song of Ice and Fire related. So it's just basically Martin saying, hey, I'm gonna work with HBO and bring about a lot of adaptations in the future. Neat, good for him. I don't agree with every decision or word that comes out of George R. R. Martin's mouth, obviously, but I do enjoy seeing authors of fantasy stories achieve greater and greater levels of success. I personally believe that authors of sci-fi and fantasy still are looked down upon in weird ways, and having them elevated by just great commercial success in our modern society speaks volumes, and I do believe goes against what a lot of people have to put up with who are in this industry. So I'm happy on that front. I'm happy as a Song of Ice and Fire fan, and I have no idea, I have no clue, and neither do you, if this will have any delay in Winds of Winter at all. He still seems to be battening down the hatches and writing quite a bit. Maybe it's even stipulated in the contract that he's got to go finish that first. I don't know, and neither do you. So can we just move on? Next news! We've had more than a couple photos dropped for Witcher Season 2's Wild Hunt, giving us a first look at what this might appear to be on screen. Now, they're always like on-set photos that are just showing like the guys on horseback, and I've seen some people be like, that's underwhelming, but you have no idea what effects they're gonna be doing, what angles they're shooting at. It's kind of an interesting case study in my opinion to see like how people still aren't like aware of the fact that like, oh, seeing a not well planned out just shot of some people on horses will probably not look anything like the final product. You gotta be aware of that, especially in today's day and age. Yeah, just seeing some dudes on some beaches is gonna be a little underwhelming, but it's the Wild Hunt. There's going to be after effects, I assume. I'm gonna make a safe guess. And I actually like their armor detail so far. I think it's good armor detail. And to my Star Wars fans, you've waited for it. You've wanted for it. And now, you get it. The full cast announcement has been released for the upcoming Kenobi TV series, and it includes Ewan McGregor, Aiden Christensen, Moses Ingram, Joel Edgerton, Bonnie Piesse, Kumail Nanjiani, Idra Verna, Indrina Varma, Rupert Friend, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Son Kong, Simone Kessel, and Benny Safdie. We've had Hayden Christensen confirmed to be involved in this project for quite some time, but this full cast is very impressive and is just neat to see. I like it. Next news. And Netflix continues to shotgun waves of content at the wall, and how much of it's going to stick news. They have announced that in 2021, Netflix is going to be launching 40 animated shows. Now note, this does not mean that 40 animated shows are going to be live on Netflix throughout 2021. Launching means their production, getting it ready, marketing. So it could just be you're gonna be seeing 40 projects talked about. Some dropped this year, some dropped in 2022, some dropped in 2023. But genuinely, I originally kind of was like repulsed by this just like wave of animated content. But from what I'm aware of, Netflix has made some good animated shows before, and hey, they're throw it at the wall and see what sticks means some of the stuff's gonna stick, and you'll get some probably quality shows in this wave. And then the stuff that doesn't stick gets forgotten and disappears forever, and it doesn't hurt anybody. So yeah, I'm okay with that. That's cool. And it also means Netflix is employing a lot of people. And for my fans of My Hero Academia, the movie trailer has launched for My Hero Academia, the movie 3, World Heroes Mission. Never seen this, can't speak on it, but the trailer was a trailer. But sliding on out of anime news, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some Battlestar Galactica bummer news, because it seems they've lost their showrunner and one of their head writers. Michael Leslie has left to be a part of another project, and this leaves this current reboot, reimagining, or continuation. I've seen conflicting stuff. This specific article says it's actually gonna be like a continuation of news stories within the existing Battlestar Galactica world, is left in a state of limbo because they need to have a new showrunner brought on board, and a lot of stuff's gonna be just pretty much held on hold until that's taken care of. And I know because of The Office, Battlestar Galactica is a bit of a meme, but if you have not watched the sci-fi reboot show, I highly recommend you do. It's genuinely great and features a cast of women that as I was growing up, I fell in love with every single one of them. Like, you wanna see my first crushes throughout my childhood growing up watching that show? All of them. And in the final piece of news we're covering here today, we had a trailer, more like teaser thing, drop for the upcoming Lord of the Rings game, Gollum. It's just titled Lord of the Rings Gollum. And instead of a action adventure, it seems to be more of just like an experience, immerse yourself in Middle-earth game. I was honestly kind of underwhelmed. Like, of all the things to do in Middle-earth, I was gonna be like, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, see what they do with this, but nothing here got me more excited than just like, yeah, that's crawling around as Gollum. And this comment kind of sums up my thoughts perfectly. Can't wait to get my head caved in with a rock and also get dragged around on a leash while violently tapping X to scream, "It burns us." There's also another comment saying, no, it's not another walking simulator, it's a crawling simulator. Like, Lord of the Rings, of all the things to do, why this? Especially because if it is just like an immerse yourself in Middle-earth experience, the graphics did not blow me away, and that kind of needs to be a big thing if you're gonna be like, oh, look at the game, this is the important look at it, experience it. Well, if it doesn't look amazing, but hey, let me know if you disagree in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Check out my book, Breach of Peace, available now through the links in the description. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And have a good one, y'all. Peace. And of course, I'd like to record a special shout out to my latest high tier Patreon, Lady Eleanor Providencia Lotzenberg von Lockmort.